this video, we have covered how if we want to forward a particular port, how we can forward it by from the Kubernetes cluster to your local, right? And the second thing which we have seen, like how we can create a ingress to forward this traffic by using the ingresses, and how we can create the domain name, how we can set the certificate name. Then finally, the third thing which we have learned, how to use Loki to see the logs. So in this video, we will see how we can see logs of a container by using Loki. So here, if you want to forward a port from Loki, you can, like, suppose you have a container. So I have a container which runs Grafana. So here Grafana is running. So we people are also using Prometheus service. So here Grafana is running inside the cluster over port 80. So I will forward that port to port 300. So by using the port forwarding service. So, and after that, I can use this username and the password to log into the portal. So to run this command, I am just copying it and pasting it inside the terminal. Now it has started for forwarding the port 80 to my port 3000. Now here inside my browser, when I will go to let us say localhost and then 3000. Now Prometheus Loki Grafana should be running over that port. Right now it's running, right? But suppose, what if I want to expose it to the outside world? How to do it? Because at this point in time, I can only, like, person who is having access to the cluster can only access this portal. Suppose we want this access without forwarding the port. At that time, what we should do, right? To see that, like, what we can have an ingress which is forwarding, putting, like, which is forwarding this port by using a service, and by using that service we are showing it by the ingress, and that is can be used by any of the user. So to achieve that, what I am going to do, I am going to create a ingress. So usually, like, here we have lot of code, but for now, for these such kind of things, we have kubeconfig. Let us create a folder. Oh, we already have a folder. Prometheus, we have gk. So here we will I will create a YAML file which will have the ingress. Let us call it as Grafana dash in ing for ingress YAML. Now I have this, so we need to create this ingress. Okay, so we will create. So instead of creating it from the scratch, what I will do, I will, like, go to some pre-existing ingress, such as we have this ingress, just copying it, then pasting it. Now let us specify the namespace. Here we are having a namespace known as monitoring. Put the namespace as monitoring. Here, instead of Maya, we want to call it as Grafana. And here I want it to work on slash. Now it will which service. So to get to know which service, so inside our for command, if we see here, we was using this service Grafana Prometheus. So this service we will use. So to say it like this, we can paste. And to verify does this service exist or not, what we can do, we can go to our Kubectl and here we can say Kubectl get services svc for services, and then our services, and then namespace monitoring. Now we have all the services which are running. So here we can see there is a service Grafana Prometheus which is running on port 80, right? So we will have an ingress which will be utilizing this service, right? So here we have this ingress and it is forwarding the traffic to port 80. So here we need to mention the domain name also. Here we will mention the domain name as, like, let us say mogi.io Grafana. There we can write Grafana. Right. So it will be working that way now. So before running this service, let's say, let us say like this only. So this service will be running, right? So but we need to create this domain name which will be forwarding to our cluster before running this service. So I will go to the Goddady account. Goddady account, here is that Goddady. Here it is. Goddady account is there. It is taking a while. Now I will create a name and I will put our domain name. This is not needed when you are doing it with Goddady. Now your IP address. This is my IP address to the server 217, and by default, let us say it as by default at the report. Now Grafana is also being added, which is forwarding our traffic to our Kubernetes cluster. Now let us save this file and let me verify before we apply it. Everything looks fine to me. Okay, let us apply this. To apply this, I will go inside this folder, right click, open in terminal. Right now I can just write kubectl apply -f is for file, and our file name is our Grafana Ingress. Now press enter. It got deployed. To verify it, so as earlier we have did a get of services, here we can do a get of ingresses. So here our ingress is there, but right now there is no IP assigned to it. To see, let us wait, let us describe it to know more about it. Right, to describe a ingress, we can do select the name. Here instead of get, we will write describe ing for ingress. And now here we can see, like, this got successfully certificate, it got a certificate. Now it is forwarding the traffic to port 80 to Grafana service. Looks fine to me, and yeah, everything looks fine. So let us do it ingress way. Now we can see, like, it took a while, but this IP got assigned to it. That is same IP which we have forwarded by using our Goddady DNS service provider. Now let us check it. Does it working or it's not working? So we can say grafana.mogia.com. Now we can see we are here, but I need to type a username and the password. So for now I have a admin login, so I will utilize that domain name only to log in inside the system. So our username is admin, right? Our password is this one, is login. Now we are inside the system. Now here, from here we can do couple of things. For now I will show you how to see the logs of a particular pod. To see the logs, we can go inside this section. We can click on explore. Then here we can select Loki, and here it is saying log browsing, so we can click on it. What we want to browse, we want to browse a service or a app. So here it's app, so we have different apps, right? What we want to, I want to see the logs of a Maya app. Right, here is a Maya app. Now I can say show log, so it will show the logs of Maya service, right? But right now we have not selected the cluster. Let us select the cluster also. For that, we the namespace actually. So namespace, we will select a namespace, and our namespace will be dev. Now we will click on run the query. Okay, by clicking on enter, it will not work. Now I will click here run query. So now I can see the logs of the Maya. So okay. Here it is showing the log timings. So let us do one thing. I really don't know, like, it is latest or above 1 hour. No, 8 9, so above 1 hour latest actually. So in the top, latest logs are coming, right? So I will make a API call. to this service to see, or we can also do like, just so exit, and this is the, so we can see logs from the terminal also by using the log follow command, and we can type any deployment. I will say yeah, to see like we are receiving the same logs or not. So here the last log is this, and and here the last log is this, right? Let us make a log, let us make a, there is a log analysis also which you can see, but I will make a another API call. So to do so, I need to go the Maya portal. Yeah, here it is. I will do a refresh. So here I am getting this error, and then fourth, here I am not receiving this traffic ribbon, right? So here same thing, and I believe the same thing will be shown in Grafana. So no logs, then we will not able to see it. For now, this is the, like, in this video we have covered how if we want to forward a particular port, how we can forward it by from the Kubernetes cluster to your local, right? And the second thing which we have seen, like how we can create a ingress to forward this traffic by using the ingresses, and how we can create the domain name, how we can set the certificate name. Then finally, the third thing which we have learned, how to use Loki to see the logs. I believe these three things will help you in your journey, in your future works. Happy work.